So, Arsenal are one of the clubs that are going to be very, very, very active in terms of how they're going to approach this season, of how things are going to be going on, and how they will be working so hard to gain something in this season. Because one thing that we have actually come to realize, Arsenal are now very much a good team. We've come to realize that the hard way, especially me coming to talk to you right now and knowing that they took 4 points out of my team, Liverpool, and also managed to take, I think, about 4 points from Manchester City, as well as beating some of the bigger teams, as well as sacrificing the young teams. So today I'm going to be talking about some of the things that I feel like Arsenal needs to do this current coming season so that they can consider their season a success. And that's very important to hear from a rival because everything has been working so well and they have been working to build up this amazing style team. So many times we've write them off, we've said so much about what they're capable of doing. So today, coming out here and actually on this channel talking about what I feel like Arsenal needs to do to consider the season successful, then it's gonna be interesting to see how people think about it because they're gonna be in different competition. So do me a favor, click that like button, subscribe to the Connects. Let's talk about what Arsenal will be like in the next season. So one thing you have to understand, there are two signings that they've already done which were clear. Of course, David Raya, getting him, making him the number one. As much as we disagreed about David Raya becoming the keeper for this team, we said so many things about it, and I had a lot of things to say about it because I felt like it was not fair looking at how much Ramsdale had been so good for us now and looking that they just threw him out and they brought Raya. Up to now, I still feel like Ramsdale could have been a better option than Raya, but one thing that is very important when it comes to football is that whoever the manager has confidence over is actually the best player to have because he will help the team to win something, to actually for a team to be successful. So getting Raya into the team is very important because that's the number one that manager wants, and of course because of how strong Arsenal's defense is, he's not going to face so many chances, but also he's going to be lethal in terms of trying to deliver the balls going forward to help the team. So I think having those transfers are very important. The other one, Calafuri, the one that is still being processed, I think is having his medicals or something like that. That's an important one because one of the things that we've always talked about Arsenal, they've looked so weak on that left side. They might be dangerous on another side of the field, but that left side has always been their kryptonite. Zinchenko, he might be creative, but he has also been one of the guys who have led this team down so many times. So I feel like working on that is going to be very important. So I had to talk about the two transfers that they've done. If they're going to do more, rumors of Nico Williams and the other one, we'll get into that. But let's talk about the season. What do we consider a successful season for Arsenal, and what do they need to do for us to consider that season successful? First of all, winning a trophy. This team has really been built. So much money has been spent over the last 4 or 5 years. Mikel Arteta has now been there for such a long time working on this team, and as much as we did not see it in the beginning, every single individual of us can actually right now come and actually speak and say that we all can see the impact of Mikel Arteta in this Arsenal team. Of course, they won the FA Cup, but the FA Cup, everyone who knows, really looking at how things were done, it felt like that was Unai Emery's team that came in and won the game, the team that, or maybe we gave the glory to Mikel Arteta who finished the last games, but Unai Emery's team was the one that did that. But of course, it's still under Mikel Arteta's name, that FA Cup win. How do we give respect to this man if he's really going to be successful in this team? They need to win the league. For so many seasons now, 2 seasons that have passed, we keep repeating the same thing. This Arsenal team is going to grow to become one of the best in the world in terms of what they're going to succeed. And that was the first time they tried to challenge. And they fell on the way. Man City won it. And last season was the second time we thought they would do it, but they failed again to go far. Now they're in the third season. They're in the third season of their successful season, they're successful they've ever been. You can ask an Arsenal fan, they will tell you that these are the seasons that they've really been successful over what they've been doing and how much they've approached the team and how much the team has been one of the amazing teams to watch. They've lost very, very few games, and I do believe for this season to be considered successful, Pep Guardiola has to be dethroned, and Mikel Arteta, out with how much he has worked to build this team, he is the one that he has to dethrone him. If he doesn't, then so many questions are going to be asked. So many people will look at this in a different light because they need to actually show us whatever they are working on. And it's going to be interesting to see how people see it really when you really vision it or look at it in any way you're gonna do. How much this is gonna be like affected the team, and how much can they work so hard to actually be perfect. So we'll keep an eye over that one. How much do we see Mikel Arteta making this team win the trophy? Also, one thing we need to talk about, for a long period of time, Arsenal were not in the Champions League. They were in the Champions League last season, and I think they went until to this round of 16. Please let me know if you're watching any Arsenal fan. Let me know in the comment section. I feel like they have to go a step further this coming season. The reason why I feel like they have to go a step further is because they are a good team. They faced some of the challenges, and I feel like they were so many nerves in the Champions League rather than what we're seeing in the Premier League. There were so many nerves in the Champions League, and I do believe that has actually changed from what they were to what they are now working on. So I feel like for Mikel Arteta to consider this team this season also a success, he has to go a step further into that competition. I'm not saying go to win it. They can if they can want to, because they are one of the best teams in the world. But I'm saying going a step further, challenging those Bayern Munich that beat them, those teams that people talk about being the scariest teams. He has to challenge them. He has to move a step further. So it's going to be interesting to see how that one actually works on. Like, the other thing I can talk about, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, one of these domestic trophies. If they don't win the league or the Champions League, they cannot live this season without a trophy. I remember a story which was said by Virgil van Dijk, and he talks about how much winning the Champions League in the season we missed out on the league by 1 point was very important to help them to keep going forward. These are already 2 seasons that Arsenal have fallen through when they are challenging, and they need to work on that. They need to show something very important to help them to go further. So it's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out on, but like I'm saying, very, very pivotal. They have to live this season by a trophy if we are ever going to consider that season successful. And I don't know how far they can go, but they have to at least live with the trophy. So what am I saying here? I'm saying at least having one domestic trophy. I do believe they have to win the Premier League. If they don't win it, and they have done something better on the other side, then that's very good. Taking another step further into the Champions League, going further forward, is very, very pivotal for this team. And as well, looking at the team as a whole, having some players who tried to be well, who did so well to actually even improve to be better players, to even offer more, I think that will help these Arsenal teams to go further. So I don't know what you can think when you look at it, but this is a good team. This is a team that we worked so many times to downplay because we didn't want to think about it. This has been the Klopp slash Pep slash Klopp era, where Pep Guardiola has run away with everything and Klopp has just come to say something. We never thought that Mikel Arteta would be actually added into the list, but he has done so well and he has proven that he has something special to offer. So now we have to respect him, and because we are respecting him, we expect him to do so well. So I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. What are your expectations over this Arsenal team? What do you think that they need to do? I feel like some of the expectations they've worked on it, fixing that left side, making sure that the keeper that the manager trusts on is actually in the team, as well as working on the forwards. I feel like they need somebody who's a gunman, but I don't think that they're going to do so. But I think they can be able to survive without that, but work on their forward line, at least add another important attacker, somebody who can do so well in the midfield. I think they need somebody who can be a long-term replacement of Thomas Partey. Looking at the fact that we have now actually seen in England that Declan Rice is more pivotal, going in a higher role than where he has been playing. So it's going to be interesting to see how Mikel Arteta plays on that. But the important thing is that this team, for them to be considered a successful team, they need to win a trophy. It doesn't matter which trophy, just a trophy. They need to win it, because if they don't, then that's another season that they've just participated in. I don't know if you agree with me. Let me know in the comment section what you think of Mikel Arteta's Arsenal and what are you expecting from them this season. Click that like button, subscribe to The Connect. I will see you on another one. We're out. Peace. Subscribe to The Connect.